Erg, ahoy, mateys, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 featuring the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Roansy Contreras is off the IL. So we're going to start this one by designating someone for assignment. I was debating calling Holderman or Majinski back down just on the basis that they have some options left available, but they're doing well. So I think what I'm actually going to do is waive Brent Honeywell Jr. because he is doing very bad for us. Even though he hasn't had a ton of reps, only 23 innings pitched. But this little plus sign here means that he is out of minor league options, so we're going to have to waive him before we set him down. So I'm going to right click, go to transaction, hit waive in DFA, and it'll say, do you really want to do that? And we say yes. And then we're going to go to waivers and throw him down into the I guess I can't designate him until there we go. No, the player has to be on the secondary. That's okay, whatever. I think I can't do anything with him because he's on waivers right now. That's fine, I don't care. What I really want to do though is put Roansy Contreras back on our main roster there, and I'm actually going to, down the stretch here, switch to a 6-man rotation again, and we'll just slot everyone down slightly, and we will put Roansy in that 3 spot there. So that will be our first game here. Let's see, Boyd should have 100%. He's rested. Meyer, 16% exhausted. Lauer is closer. So actually, we're going to just switch things up a little. I'm going to keep a Boyd as the starter. Jones. Something happened where our rotation has gotten mixed up a little. Jones is fine. Who pitched our last game here? I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I know we had the decent game with Meyer there, so it looks like it went Brubaker, Meyer. Before that was Lauer. And then my guess is that this was Boyd or Jones. So this was Jones. So it went Jones into, why do I keep clicking the same game? Jones into Lauer into Brubaker. So Jones, Lauer. I'm just going to set this up here. And then Meyer was this one, right? All right, so we'll do Roansy getting the start here. Matthew Boyd after him. It should probably be another disaster. He was our disaster in the last game. I'm going to simulate through these Seattle and Texas games, and then we'll jump into it with Cincinnati, do some division stuff. Let's go ahead and just get through this Brian Wu game. Hopefully Matthew Boyd does well. And he didn't. Oh, sorry, this was Roansy, my bad. So Roansy did bad in his return, which is not horribly unexpected. It looks like batting-wise, we weren't too hot. Only 6 hits. They had 13. Much better. Rowdy Tellez and Nick Gordon, both with home runs, but nothing to show for it. Miller will be next, and I guess we'll skip Boyd and go straight to Jones on that one, hoping for good stuff here. He's been good so far at the pro level, and another good performance by Jared Jones. 5 1/3, only gives up 1. Good performance by the bullpen. Like to see that. A 4-1 victory. Again, the hitting could be better, but it did enough. Rowdy Tellez looks like 3 of the 4 RBIs, and surprisingly not a home run. Looks like it was on a double. If you look at our box score here, it doesn't even show up as one of the key plays. Interesting. This was in the 11th. The bottom. This is crazy. I don't even know what's going on here. This looks like information from another game, maybe. Not 100% sure, but it definitely looks like we didn't win in the 11th inning, right? So work on that coding out of the Park Baseball team. Go ahead and simulate one more. Hopefully we win this series, though I guess it really doesn't matter at this point, and that is a loss. This will be Eric Lauer in this game. The lefty's not getting it done. Decent game at the plate. Though you'd like to see better. Brian Reynolds, just his 14th home run. He's having a not great season for us. Then we'll jump right into this Texas series. Loss in game number 1. Brubaker versus Dunning. Another bad game at the stick. Against DeGrom here. So we're just racking up those L's. Ryan Barucki got the start into Meyer with the follower. 3 runs through 5 2/3. He'll pick up the loss, I think, again, because we just are not hitting. And this looks like another fake. Like this stuff is not correlating with, well, I guess this maybe. Ezekiel Duran aided Texas with the run scoring single in the bottom of the 7th. So they did score in the 7th, though it doesn't come up here. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with these boxes here, but there's clearly some type of bug or error going on. This recap, though, looks like it was accurate. One more simulation, we'll probably get swept here, and we do. The worst game out of the 3. 15 runs allowed. Of course, Matthew Boyd at the plate there, or sorry, on the mound there. And then Luis Ortiz comes in and gets absolutely obliterated to the moon. Adolis Garcia, the MVP of this game, 3 for 4. Did he have multiple home runs here? Yeah, 2 home runs there. Nothing doing for us again. Just 3 hits. Absolutely pathetic. This might be accurate at this point. Seager hits. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got so many runs, it's hard to correlate, but terrible stuff going on for us. Hate to see that. Get some information here. It looks like our scouts found some people. Drew Toussaint has not been finding anyone particularly great for me so far, but usually doesn't happen. This isn't Dominican South African guy. Like to see that kind of national variety going on. I guess we'll play this game against Nick Lodolo because I would like to keep seeing. Oh, I thought we were going to get Jared Jones here. I guess I'm completely misremembering my order here. It's going to be Roansy against Lodolo. I'm actually going to go ahead and simulate that so we can get Abbott against Jones in our next game here. And this one is a victory. Roansy back on track, 5 2/3. 1 surrendered, 7 strikeouts. 9 hits, so finally we get above 6 hits. Like to see that. No home runs, but Henry Davis getting himself a double. Looks like we have a DFA, and that's Brent Honeywell, so we'll go ahead and throw him down there. And I think we do get to clear him off waivers here. I think you just like drag him. The player's not on waivers. Okay, so I think I've been running into this where usually you would just like throw him off and he'd clear waivers, but now that he's cleared waivers, I don't think you need to do anything with him anymore. So here we go. Andrew Abbott, a 5.45 ERA, a 150 whip. Not looking good there. Jared Jones looks like the superior pitcher in the stat line, though Abbott has the edge on this little tracker thing here. Palacios is on a slump. I'm debating pulling him out of this one, though I guess Sawinski is also on a slump too. And we are facing a left-handed hitter. Looks like Tellez is going to sit in this one, so we'll have Connor Joe playing first, which is fine. We have some options for pinch hitters. Nick Gordon and Ke'Bryan Hayes both tired here. And let's go ahead and get this game underway. We start with a strikeout. One thing that I found interesting, kind of looking around, is I have been playing with the camera angle a little here. We did the little around the horn there. In here, you can actually change your camera if you'd like. And I kind of like this camera a little bit more. Especially because it gets you a better view of the pitches. I'm setting everything to that camera because when I didn't, it was a little disorienting seeing where things go. This, you get like a nice solid view of the ball going out into left field and into the gap where he's going to hit a triple. Unfortunate. First hit of the game. Maybe changing that camera was not the way to go here. If you like this camera angle more than the other camera angle, let me know. Looks like we're going to get a sac fly here. Yep. We'll experiment with it for a little while. Encarnacion Strand up, who's having a great game in Sim. Terrible year. Sorry, great year in Sim. Terrible year in real life. I guess an okay game so far. He's 1 for 1. Steer strikes out. And we get out of that just surrendering 1 run. And here comes Andrew Abbott. We are weak against left-handed pitching. It's been a theme of the year so far. So in that regard, I do give a slight edge to the Reds in this matchup. But we'll see what we can do here. Ke'Bryan Hayes with a 1-out single. One thing that I don't like about this camera angle is, I mean, I could if I wanted to. I think you can move these widgets if you would like. So if I unclick automatically set up widgets, I can drag them, move them places. It is hard to see information about the catcher here. I can't see his arm rating or anything like that. So because of that, I'm not going to try and steal. But now there's 2 outs. Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? What do we got to lose? And Ke'Bryan Hayes makes it. So we got a runner in scoring position. Andrew McCutchen takes the walk. And that brings up Brian Reynolds. Makes contact, hits it out into center field. Should be an easy play. It actually falls down. So I was completely wrong about that. I guess we do need to change the camera angle to have a better idea of where the ball's going. Let's go ahead and do dynamic camera action, see if that fixes anything. Palacios up. Makes contact out into center field, and that's going to be, ooh, that was even worse than the other direction. But it looked like it was going to hang up, and it did. And the dynamic camera action is just not picking up what I would like to see. So we'll go ahead and switch that to wide camera and see what this looks like here. Looking for our perfect representation. Jared Jones, 1 up, 1 down. Getting the ground balls, which is good. Though not when they make it through. That's a 1-out single for Tyler Stevenson. Edwin Arroyo with a little blooper out to left. Reynolds gets under it for out number 2. Stuart Fairchild, the 9th batter, striking out. So Jones looking good through 2. Not great, but good. Let's see how the Buccos do. Connor Joe starts things off. Shot out to center field, but should be an easy play. Made it look a lot harder than it was. Big dive there for Friedel. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes O'Neal Cruz. Makes contact. That should fall in. A little Texas leaguer. Might be able to steal second here. I'll just go ahead and try. And I guess not. Trying to keep them close. Xavier Edwards up. Makes contact. Grounds it over to short. And I think they did get Cruz up at second. They did. Looks like McLean got hurt. But he's staying in the game. He doesn't even have a little... Or did he come in? It just happened right there. I guess I should have gone to the game log, right? That was no movement, swing strike. Doesn't say anything. I could look at the play-by-play if I wanted to. Grounder over to third there, and that should end the inning. So both teams leave runners stranded, and it's still 1-1. Top of the lineup for Cincinnati coming back up here. Fraley strikes out looking. 1 up, 1 down. And that is a grounder over to second. So this time Friedel, instead of the triple, gets the ground out. And McLean with the full count makes contact. Slow grounder to Jones, who throws it over. Is he safe? He is not. It's out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Jones. Abbott against Key Brian Hayes, who had that single in his last at bat. This time another single just over McLean's head. And we have a base runner. Henry Davis up second, makes contact out into center. Friedel gets under it, and that is 1 down. Kutch walked in his last at bat. 1-1 count, makes contact, hits it over to third, and that is going to be around the horn for the double play. 5-4-3, inning over. So Encarnacion strand up, another good contact with 2 strikes, but Brian Reynolds makes an acrobatic leap to grab it. 1 up, 1 down. Steer struck out in his last at bat. He'll make contact this time on the full count. O'Neal Cruz throws it over to first. That is 2 up, 2 down. And Jeimer Candelario takes the walk. I'm curious how he has made it to the Cincinnati Reds. Let's take a look at his history. Signed as a free agent with the Reds. Interesting. Not 100% sure. Is that accurate? I thought he was with the Rays organization, but maybe I am just stupid. All right, Candelario going over to third, and I guess the Reds wish they never signed him because he was thrown out. Good heads-up play by center field. Is that Palacios in this game? It is. I'd like to see that. Brian Reynolds up to start things off. Had some good defensive plays, and he'll have a good offensive play there. That is gone. The left fielder did not even move. Didn't make that crisp sound I like, but 427 feet. I believe that's home run number 15 for Brian Reynolds, and it is. Looking up at our live play-by-play. Maybe Brian Reynolds will have a good stretch down here and get himself up to 20. You'd expect at least that from him, especially after that big old contract that the real-life Pirates gave him and we are stuck with in this game. Connor Joe flying out into foul territory. That's out number 2. O'Neal Cruz here now. Got a single in his last at bat. Makes contact over to first. Should be an out, and it is. And there you go. So Reynolds takes the Pirates into the lead here, and Jones is going to... Oh, no! I thought that was going to be a second walk. Instead, that's going to be a home run for Edwin Arroyo. And we are tied up. It's like dueling banjos here. Feels really even, like anything you can do, I can do better kind of game. When Jones gets 3 up, 3 down... Abbott gets 3 up, 3 down. When we hit a home run, they hit a home run. All right, here comes Friedel. Had that triple to start the game, but this will be his second ground out. Over to Key Brian Hayes at third. And Jones gets through it. That's through 5. Let's see what his pitch count looks like right now. It's like 87, so he's probably close to being done. So on that note, we have a string of righties up, so we don't want to go with any of our lefties if we can avoid it. Unfortunately, most of our bullpen is pretty spent. I guess we'll go with Holderman and see how much we can get out of him. And here comes Xavier Edwards striking out to start bottom of the 5th. Eddie Olivares up next, and contact. Right over to third. Candelario puts him away. Here comes Key Brian Hayes. Makes contact, but nothing doing there. 1-2-3 inning for Abbott. Here comes Jones back on the mound, starting off against McLean. 3-1 count. Last time I saw this, it was a home run. This time it is not. Just a fly out to Palacios in center. And here comes Encarnacion Strand on the second pitch of the at-bat. Grounds out over to Key Brian Hayes. And Spencer Steer. Let's see if he can get out of this inning clean. He has not had a quality start yet, but this will be the first one of his career. Makes it through 6, just 2 surrendered, and let's see if we can pick up the win from here. I'm going to sit Holderman just so he doesn't get tired. Davis has had a weak day at the plate, but that could be gone. It's going to be really close. Friedel went through the wall to get that catch. That is a transcendent play by TJ Friedel. Literally defied the laws of physics, went through a wall to grab that out. Good job, buddy. Maybe we should trade to get him. I haven't seen that since early on in the season when the Mets were playing the Mets and they had some out-of-body experience where he was like out in the bleachers. That should be in the gap. Might bring in the run here. It's going to at least be a double. Nope. Holds up at third. So, poor Andrew McCutcheon. Too old to come in. Let's hopefully be able to bring him in here. Palacios makes contact out to left. Should be enough for the sack. And McCutcheon kind of jogs in. We do get the sacrifice fly, so thank goodness for that. And we will get Holderman going up again in the bullpen. Connor Joe up 2 outs, makes contact, but it's going to be just a moonshot out to the shortstop. And that is the end of the 6th. Pirates take the lead. Jones, I believe, is done for the day, so let's get Colin Holderman going. Let's see if he can live up to his last aim. Get us a hold here. Candelario shoots it out into right, but should be an out, and it is. Olivares underneath it. 1 up, 1 down. Stevenson up next, and he strikes out looking. Looked outside from the camera angle, but we don't have robo umps yet, so no harm, no foul. Arroyo had that huge home run in his last at bat. This time it is just a ground out to Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Holderman gets through the top of the 7th. O'Neill Cruz up now. Abbott is still in there, only 80 pitches, so he's been very efficient, even though he is on hook for the loss at this point. Technically, it is a quality start at this point. Edwards is going to fly out to center. And here comes Eddie Olivares with the full count. And strikes out with the check swing. Abbott makes it through 7 now. All right, so Holderman's only pitched 5, so I think he's good for another inning, but we'll see. Ground ball to O'Neill Cruz, and that's 1 up, 1 down. Fraley up next. Makes contact, shoots it out into center field. Palacios should be able to get underneath it. And it is. Out number 2. Holderman just 10 pitches so far through 2 innings. This one is a battle, though. Full count, and he walks him. I think he's up to 16 pitches. Here comes McLean, and we are actually going to throw to first. Want to be safe. I'm going to pitch out. All right, so we've wasted a pitch. Let's finish this at bat. Pitch incoming, and that is a strikeout. Good job, Colin Holderman. Now we'll get David Bednar going up. See if we can get this save. All right, Ke'Bryan Hayes to start things off. He got that valuable single in the first inning that ended up scoring him after the stolen base. He'll fly out to right there, though. Here comes Henry Davis, who has not done much for us. And he will continue to not do much. He almost had that home run, but Friedel took it right out of the stands there. McCutcheon with a little line drive out into center. We'll put him on base. We'll see if Brian Reynolds can do anything with that. Nope. Shoots it up into the lights. And that is the end of the 8th. All right, so here comes Bednar. Coming in for the save. Encarnacion Strand to lead things off. It's a full count to him. And skies that up. Should be an easy play for O'Neill Cruz, and it is. 1 up, 1 down. Spencer Steer up next. Makes contact, and that is a home run. And we are tied. Blown save for David Bednar. Spencer Steer. 403 feet out into the bleachers. Remember Candelario up next. He makes contact that looks like it might be in the gap, but it's not. Eddie Olivares gets underneath it. Out number 2. Tyler Stevenson up next. Makes contact. Grounds out to O'Neill Cruz. And that is the top of the ninth, but we've blown the save, and now we got to do something offensively here. It'll start with Palacios. Strikes out on the full count. 1 up, 1 down. Ryan Brazier on the mound, looking good in relief. And this is the point of the game where we bring Rowdy Tellez in to pinch hit. And they will bring in a new reliever, lefty Reaver San Martin. Or San Martin, not 100% sure how to pronounce that. It's got the 1-2 count to Tellez, and let's see if Tellez plays hero ball here or strikes out. And that's a strikeout. O'Neal Cruz up next, and another 1-2 count, and another strikeout. So we're going into extras. We've had some mixed results this season. We have an incomplete lineup, so we'll go ahead and put him in at first. And let's see how Bednar does here. We'll need at least one more inning out of him. Starts with a fly out to center. Fairchild up next. The nice thing about how regulars... Ooh, nice play by Brian Reynolds out in the left. I was going to say the nice thing about the way regular innings ended is Stevenson is going to be their base runner, but we'll have O'Neal Cruz. So a little bit more... flexibility with bringing him in up at second base if we need to. Probably our best base runner. All right, so Xavier Edwards starts. I could, if I wanted to be a little bit crazy, just try and bunt him over. And I'm almost debating it. I'll let Xavier Edwards hit. I feel like the bunting him over, the small ball play is more fun, but hey, we got him over anyway. Xavier Edwards grounds out to short, but O'Neal Cruz makes it to third. And here comes Eddie Olivares. I'm kind of debating what I want to do here. Graham Ashcraft is in. That was the first out he recorded. And it looks like we have already won because I got a Steam achievement before the ball even got hit. Eddie Olivares with the little bloop single out into left. O'Neal Cruz comes across and we pull it off even though we got the blown save. Good clutch hitting by Olivares there. I think he was... Oh, that was just his first hit. Thought he had another hit in the game, but apparently I'm misremembering. So, a better game than we're used to. Unfortunately, Bednar does pick up the blown save, so Jones doesn't get his win. But we pulled it out, so... fine by me. Brian Reynolds, the player of the game, 3 for 4, had the big home run in the 4th, and a good divisional win. Go ahead and simulate this next game. And did not get the sweep. Another game in extras. And it looks like this is one that we let get away again. Did Bednar get the blown save? No, this time it was Perez, gave up 3 in his 1 inning of work. Hate to see that. The hitting, a little bit better than it has been. No consistency. Sawinski hits his 8th home run. Looks like that was a 3-run homer in the 5th. Tellez had an RBI single in the 3rd. And we didn't do anything after that except blow the game. Gave up runs in the 7th and 8th. And then, of course, the 10th. But we did win the series for whatever that's worth. If we go back to our home screen, looks like we are... Ooh, we're really bad now. Let's go to the manager's office. So yeah, Don't Suck Completely has now changed from red or from green to red. So maybe we are sucking completely, and my owner's going to hate me now. We are 20 games out of first. We are the 3rd worst team in the National League, and let's see in the whole of the major leagues, where are we? 55, so 426 win percentage. We are still the 5th worst team in all of baseball, but hey, at least we're going to get a good draft pick out of it, right? Let's check out our pitching staff and see who we have left. We got Brubaker, Meyer, Contreras for Brown, Tyon, and Eovaldi. I guess we'll go ahead and pitch against Jameson, a former Pirates prospect himself. Let Brubaker get the sim here against Brown. And, ooh, we split the series because that was actually a 4-game series. I was not paying enough attention. And JT Brubaker, actually a respectable performance, but Ortiz gets obliterated in relief. So that's, I think, 3 straight terrible performances by Luis Ortiz, and so bad that I'm debating calling him down to the minors and calling someone up. Let's take a look at his game log. That is batting stats. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. So 4, so he had a good game here. 5 earned. Was it, what is Perez? No. Who had the bad relief performance in this one? I thought this was also, no, yeah, so it was Perez. Okay. Mixing up my pitchers. I think I am going to call Ortiz down. There we go. He's been demoted to AAA. And let's look at our AAA and see if there's anyone worth calling up here. Skeens is always an option. Burrows is healthy, and I was looking at him earlier. I think I'll go ahead and call him up and see what that looks like. And we'll go ahead. Let's really quickly look at my pitching staff. Go ahead and put him as middle relief. It's not quite ready to be a starter yet. And we'll go ahead and do our opener into follower with Ryan Borucki here. Gordon, Cruz, and Hayes are all tired. I'm curious if I could spell any of them. I'll go ahead and give Ke'Bryan Hayes a rest here. Put Xavier Edwards in there, and we'll just jimmy things up a little bit with our lineup. I'm actually going to make that O'Neal Cruz. Getting a little funky with it. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's fine for me. Borucki is tired going into this game too, but luckily we only need an inning or so out of him. How tired is he? No, he's 90% rested. I don't know what that is about then. Either that or that 90% rested thing is a complete lie. I guess we'll see. We'll get into it here against Chicago. Pete Crow Armstrong to lead things off, and he makes contact over to Rowdy Tellez at first. 1 up, 1 down, and we have got things started here at this night game in PNC Park at Pittsburgh. The site of the 3 Rivers. Beautiful area. Ian Happ up next, and another grounder over to Tellez at first. 2 up, 2 down. And Seiya Suzuki makes contact, another grounder into the infield. Henry Davis throws it over, and that is an easy 1-2-3 for Ryan Borucki. Might be able to get 2 innings out of him. Do I need to get... This is the part that I don't really understand about the follower thing, is do I need to get him warming up in the bullpen? I guess I will. Better safe than sorry, right? All right, so Tyon up here against Palacios to lead things off in a little bloop single right over the head of third base. And we have ourselves the first base runner of the game for either team, Josh Palacios. O'Neal Cruz up next. Strikes out with the 0-2 pitch. Brian Reynolds on a hot streak. And not hot enough. Grounds out. Gets the lead runner there, so Reynolds will be on first, and we'll go ahead and try and steal him. And he did not commit. And now Rowdy Tellez makes contact, grounds out to first. Nothing doing with that leadoff single for Palacios. And through 1, it is 0-0. Matt Shaw to start things off in the second. We'll keep Borucki in for now. And that was a mistake. Home run opposite field for Matt Shaw. And it is 1-0 Chicago. Bellinger then making contact. Grounds out to Gordon at second. Patrick Wisdom up next. 1-0 count. Makes contact. Skies it up. Looks like it's going to be in foul territory, and Edwards will get under it for out number 2. And Michael Bush will be Barucki's last batter no matter what happens here. And he strikes him out, so we like to see that. Can I substitute Meyer in now? Cannot replace the pitcher while I'm at bat. That's fine. Just going to sit him so I don't forget, and he gets tired. Nick Gordon to lead things off in the bottom of the 2nd. Makes contact out into center field, but an easy play for Pete Crow Armstrong. 1 up, 1 down. Jack Sawinski up next, and it's looking like a strikeout. And go figure, it's a strikeout. Man, Jack Sawinski, you better have a better 2025. I'm telling you, buddy. Xavier Edwards up next, and he's striking out too. Strikeouts everywhere. And let's get our friend Max Meyer into this ballgame. All right. So hopefully he can give us 6. At least 5 is what I'm hoping for. He had a good performance in his last game. This time starts off with a fly out to right field. And then it looks like we're going to get a 4-pitch walk here to Alfaro, and it is. And another walk. So back-to-back walks. Terrible. Hate to see that. Ian Happ. It's an infield fly over to third base. That's out number 2. Here comes Seiya Suzuki. And he strikes him out. So good job by Meyer to get out of the jam there. And it is still 1-0 as we get to the bottom of the 3rd for Henry Davis. Making contact, a little soft single out into center. Andrew McCutcheon up next in the 9 spot. And making contact, but a fly ball into foul territory that Patrick Wisdom is able to get to. 1 out. Palacios up next, and that is a strikeout. That's strikeout number 5 for Tyon today. Just 4. I always overcount those for some reason. O'Neal Cruz ground and out to second base. Shaw gets it, and that is out number 3. Still nothing for the Pirates. Shaw has the 1 hit for Chicago in this game, but it was enough to put them in the lead, and this time he will walk. The 3rd walk of the game for Meyer. You don't like to see that at all. Bellinger up next, making contact. Palacios won't get to it. That is the 2nd hit of the game now. Man at first and second. Runner in scoring position with no outs. Patrick Wisdom out into center field. I don't think it'll be far enough to move Shaw over, and it is not. First out for Meyer. Bush up next. And 0-2 count. Strikes him out with the 3rd pitch. Dansby Swanson up next. Former top prospect. Making contact. Gets through. Past Xavier Edwards. Should be enough to bring in Shaw. And it is. So an RBI single for Dansby Swanson. It is 2-0 now. And Max Meyer records the 3rd out, but gives up his first run of the game. 2-0 Cubbies, and the sunset is coming in. Beautiful backdrop there. Brian Reynolds. That hot streak is not looking like it's going to keep going here. 2nd ground out of the game for him. Full count to Rowdy Tellez here. And he makes contact into center, but that is going to be out number 2. Leading into Nick Gordon. Makes contact, but skies it up just past the pitcher's mound. Dansby Swanson comes in to grab it. And through 4 now, the Pirates remain scoreless. Pete Crow Armstrong to lead off the 5th. Makes contact. Meyer's getting a lot of 2-strike counts, but not putting him away. And a lot of walks. Like that one right there. Walks Happ on the full count. Seiya Suzuki up now. 3-1. Makes contact. Gets past Edwards. Might be enough to bring Happ in. Brian Reynolds is playing this very weirdly. Is that going to be a triple for Seiya Suzuki? That is a triple. Alarming triple. Max Meyer is now on the hook for 2 runs. He's having that issue of second time through the lineup syndrome. Bellinger up, 2-1 count. Just as likely to do that as he was to hit a home run, but we like that result. So just 1 is the damage. But now the lead is 3 instead of 2. Hey, and at least Jack Sawinski didn't strike out, so he's got that going for him. Ground out to the pitcher, though. Not much better. Statistically, exactly the same. Especially if you follow the true 3 outcomes theory. And Henry Davis, that's out number 3. So we are just awash in misery at the plate here. Jameson Taillon is killing us. All right, Max Meyer back on the mound. Please get a strikeout, buddy. No, still getting... Is that a home run? Oh, man, that was the weakest home run I've ever seen. So that's run number 4, and I guess we got to start looking at calling someone in for relief, and it's going to be Max Burrows because everyone else is too tired. So good thing we called him up, I guess. So there's the strikeout that we were looking for in the last at-bat. Dansby Swanson up next. Makes contact, grounds it out to Cruz, but that is an error. Oh, this is going to be one of those games, isn't it? Losing my patience as we get down the stretch here. Came in with such optimism, such high hopes. Instead, we are the 5th worst team in baseball. Max Meyer sucks. Paul Skeens sucks. Jack Sawinski sucks. Mitch Keller was so bad I had to trade him. All right, Max Meyer's day is done. The ship is sinking very rapidly here. All right, in comes Burrows. Let's see what you do, buddy. Making his regular season debut for the big club. And he grounds out to O'Neal Cruz unless we have another error. Thank God it was not. But it is 6-0. We're just going to do until our ISP because we suck. And hey, we got a hit. That's something. Burrows apparently just got injured. Is that for real? Bicep tendonitis. I don't even know what to do here. I guess Matthew Boyd has to come in because everyone else is too tired. Oh, Majinski could come in. I guess we'll put Majinski in, and then I'm just going to have Boyd go in the bullpen. Because at this point, who even cares? All right. So at least Majinski comes in and does something. And we'll just do an until RSP. Oh, so Tellez gets a leadoff double. Wait, oh no. He was sacrificed up somehow. And there's a walk to Jack Sawinski. Amazingly. Surprising he didn't swing at all 4 of those balls. Edwards flies out to left. And Henry Davis with the full count. It looked like he struck out, but instead it was a ground out to the catcher. So I guess it's the same result either way. Majinski looks fine, but I guess not. Depending on how this goes, this will probably be his last batter. Flies out to left field, so we get out of it. Did the sim until RSP thing. Didn't work out. Go ahead and sit these 2 guys. We'll do the same thing there. Okay, so we got runners in scoring position here. Palacios on third, Reynolds on second. 2 outs for Rowdy Tellez, and with the full count, that's a walk. And here comes Nick Gordon against lefty Caleb Ferguson. And strikes out with the check swing. Oh, where are the robo-umps when you need them? That looks like a ball to me. All right, so Majinski looks toast here. I guess we'll just put Bednar in. Visit mound. Apparently he's not warm enough. It doesn't even matter. Perfect. A leadoff single for Seiya, or leadoff double for Seiya Suzuki, and yeah, just everything's going to hell in a handbasket here. Oh, do we get at least a double play there? Yeah, so we got the double play, but they do score the run. And Patrick Wisdom flies out to center. And Pittsburgh Pirates playing 4-hit baseball here. Jack Swinski's going to strike out. Yeah. Swinging in a different century there. Xavier Edwards looks like he's going to strike out. And let's see if Henry Davis can make it a trifecta. Nope. We'll make contact, actually. Grounds out to the catcher, and that is about how well that went. So, an absolute disastrous game. Nothing to look forward to. We ended up injuring Mike Burrows. He's out for a week. I guess we'll put him on the 15-day IL and look at who else we can call up here. We're close to being able to expand rosters anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I guess we'll just go back with Honeywell, right? Finish today. Nathan Eovaldi. So, hey, we got a win. It's a crazy graph. 13-8, so we finally got some hits. We got more runs scored than we had hits. That's extra funny. Jack Swinski hit a grand slam. Wow. Didn't even... Oh, struck out one time. I thought he didn't strike out at all. So Matthew Boyd was terrible, but not so bad that we lost. David Bednar came in very early and almost blew things, but I guess it counts as a hold. And Imanaga, who's our next pitcher here? Rounzy is up next. We'll go ahead and sim that, and that should be the end of this episode. So it is a loss. Imanaga looks good. Rounzy didn't look bad, but again, just no hitting, complete lack of hitting. Go ahead and finish today. And Palacios is out for 7 months. Oh, when it rains, it pours. Who do we have to call up here? I'm probably leaning to Cannon Smith and Najiba there. Matt Gorski is a possibility. No one's very good. Gilberto Celestino. Take a look at Double A here. Connor Scott. McKinney. He's a lefty. Can he play center? He cannot play center. Neither can Smith and Najiba. Gorski can, so we'll just call Matt Gorski up, read important messages. I've just been told that Josh Palacios is dead. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. So we have the Guardians coming up. I think I'm going to end it there. This was another depressing episode. Hopefully my depression didn't make it as unwatchable as it felt unplayable for me. But I swear good things are on the horizon. Maybe I will just play through the rest of the season kind of off screen. I'll do some roster expansion stuff, and maybe we'll just get through the end of the season, because at this point it is just tough. But the roster expansion might make things a little bit more fun as we can experiment with some of our other guys. I'm debating even calling Termarr Johnson up. Let's take a look at how he's doing in Double A right now before I make a decision on that. So 258, 6 home runs isn't bad through 89 at bats. He's getting a decent clip on the walks, 405 on base percentage. So you like to see that. Maybe not enough to get him called up there. Alika Williams, we might be able to call up. Gavin Cross, probably not. Trey Gonzalez, maybe. Let's take a look at AAA. See if anyone jumps out at us. Joe Perez would be a good guy to look at. He is a righty. Alcantara would be another good guy to look at. And Vidal Brujan. Jesus, that was mispronounced if I've ever heard one. He would be a fun guy to see called up and see how he does. So we have some options with the roster expansion. We'll probably get Skeens back up in the big club. What's going on here? Where is he? Did he die? Is he injured? Oh, what did I say? When it rains, it pours, right? Let's check out the IL here. Injured list. Yeah, Paul Skeens. Okay, so it's only for 5 days, so it's not the end of the world. A lot of guys that I did want to see, though, like Brian Mata, Chang Bei, they are all injured. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens in the future. Thanks for watching. Sorry it got so out of hand there in the second half of this video, but hey, 2025 is right around the corner, and the good news is that we have an off season to make some interesting moves, and we have roster expansion here to see some of our younger guys get some play time. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Go Bucks!